Right, all I've been told is to stand at this bus stop and await further instructions. Spooky.
Oh, you alright?
Oh dear.
Hello,
You alright, Jack?
You alright? Go for an ambulance. Tell them there's a lady unconscious, quick.
So this is one of a series of 10 programs called ScienceZone that we made to help teach children science in the BBC back in 1998. And because of our experience in developing interactive TV at that time, the European Broadcasting Union asked us to turn one episode into an interactive TV program. This is the one we chose. Now, remember, there was no tools at that time. Everything had to be written from scratch. And we were able to build a fairly powerful system at that time based on a Pentium 90 with the very, very first MPEG-2 card that had come into the country from Canada to be able to play digital video, the first time ever. So this is quite some time ago, no tools, and everything written from scratch. What we're looking at here is an actual playout from that Pentium 90 computer that I did for a conference many years ago. And I would normally be speaking over at the conference, but I'm recording this commentary in order to describe what's going on and give everybody an idea of what's happening.
Well, I've been sent here to enrol on a first aid course, so here goes.
And what Steve doesn't know is that after his first aid course, he's going to be first on the scene to deal with 50 casualties at a major accident reconstruction.
We wanted to give a viewer the opportunity of delving deeper into the storyline to find out more about specific, very important topics that were brought up in the principal narrative. And to do that, we created a system that put moving icons or mycons up on the screen whenever there was more information to explore. So you'll see in a moment a mycon come up that says there's more to explore about the lungs, and I've selected it in this demo. It goes into the demo zone to give us more information. You'll notice the icon in the bottom left has changed to say we're in a different place too. And every time there is even deeper information, more mycons appear on the screen. But they're only relevant for a specific period of time, so if I don't click on them, they disappear. I'm actually going to choose one about the scuba diver, which is coming up. So the mycon about the scuba diver comes up, I click it, and we leave that sub-narrative into a sub-sub-narrative about the scuba diver and how they breathe underwater. But I may actually want to have some control over where, whereabouts in the story I am. So we designed a system that enabled people to move forwards or backwards in the sub-storylines.
And pass your mouthpiece through.
Yeah, using that film script you just saw.
Put it in your mouth and just have a little breathe to make sure you feel. Okay, how's that? Okay, off you go. So what we're going to do now is put the mouthpiece in, breathe through it to make sure you're happy, let the air out of the life jacket.
And if we get a bit tired of it and we want to go back to where we were, we can jump back with the arrow. We drop back into the previous level, story level. And when this finishes, it'll drop back into the principal narrative once more.
Breathing is an essential process of human beings.
Into the
lungs. And the
now the lungs are housed
icon on the bottom left is turned back to blue, showing that we're in the principal top level narrative, which actually is the main narrative, the principal narrative of the regular linear television show. We constructed it this way because we wanted to give people the experience of still watching a television program, even though it was an interactive one that gave them the opportunity of exploring deeper levels.
Because the lungs get larger and the chest rises. And it's hard work, isn't it? Asphyxia is
The next thing Steve learns about is how blood circulates around the body.
lack of oxygen to the body. Circulatory system is the part of your body that delivers blood to every living cell, every living tissue in your body. So it consists of your heart and delivery tubes. The way that we tell that your heart is actually working, that your heart is beating, is to take the pulse. Right, to take your pulse, we need to find where you can feel the rhythm of your heart. And you feel that at the wrist, nice and easily. Go down the thumb, along the bone, and press that pulse point onto the bone.
So I'm still alive then?
Almost. You're almost. Nice, healthy, strong pulse there.
Oh, that's good.
So as well as giving a viewer as close to a linear regular television experience as possible, despite the fact that they could leap off and explore the story in more detail, we wanted to be able to give a viewer access to all of the content in a non-linear way, in a way that they could explore it in their own time and their own interests. So to do that, we developed an interface that showed all of the content and gave them the access of navigating through it. So the central spine here represents elements of the principal narrative, the narrative that made up the main television program, and ranging to the left and right on these panels are all the other sub-narratives and sub-sub-narratives, most of which are video. But we were also able to add simulations to explore in a genuine interactive way various aspects of the body system. So here we have a skeleton, and we can rotate the skeleton, look at it in any way. We can add the organs. In this case, we were talking about the lungs and the heart, and we can also add the skin, take it away, and so on. And clicking on the organ gives a short video explanation of what that organ is.
Inside your body, the lungs look like two pink sponges. As you breathe in and out, the lungs get bigger and smaller.
The biggest single...
Now you may recall from the beginning of the program that Steve is going to be called to put all of the skills that he's learned in his first aid course to practice in a major accident reconstruction, which was designed to test the effectiveness of the emergency services. They happen every now and then. Unannounced the services, they just have to respond in the way they would normally do so. So we covered this event with 7 crews, each crew following a principal protagonist in the emergency services. And their position at the beginning of this event is shown on the map here. So I've chosen to first of all join the boat where most of the injuries have occurred. It's been supposedly hit by a speedboat in the middle of the lake, and Steve is left on his own here to start dealing with these casualties, who are actually played by members of the Guild of Casualties, each person specialising in pretending to be a specific type of injury. They're very realistic.
We'll have to get him out, Audrey. I want him out.
No, he's breathing. He's breathing. He's unconscious, he's breathing. He's all right. I'm going to have to leave him.
Now, whilst this aspect of the story is unfolding, the other 6 are also unfolding in synchronization. So they're all moving forward in synchronization in the same time frame. And I can choose to jump to any of the other storylines, protagonist storylines, by going back to the main interface, looking at the map and choosing something else.
Who can move here? You can help me. You're gonna have to. I'm sorry, mate. This is gonna hurt.
So here we go. Choose the map and choose what other storyline to follow. Actually, in this case, I'm going to follow the helicopter pilot, whose job it is to fly into difficult to get to locations and ferry injured people to the triage tape set up in the central place.
Okay, we're being called to the fire, and we're initially going to go to Lieblich, which is a marina visitor centre on the side of on the keel of the reservoir. The Forest Commission had reports of quite a big fire, and we're en route to assist as fast as possible. We've heard it's some sort of disaster, lots of people hurt. Okay, I'll try contacting the forestry and the radio and see if I can get hold of them then. Morning, Delaware 17, spy call, squad helicopter, Charlie landing in Lieblich, Delaware 17 out. Informal LS coming into view now, just slightly left of the nose, just check your harness please. Quick check, T-speed feels okay. Right, we're already
Now, not
landing.
every storyline is going to be packed with action all the time. They're all moving forward in synchronization. Some there's a lot of action, others there aren't. So the ability to move backwards and forwards in the story using our film strip control is very useful. We can sort of accelerate fast forwards through to where something interesting is happening, or look at something again. Now, as we do move forward into a different part of the story, all of the storylines are moving in the same in synchronization. In addition to being able to select from the map which storyline we follow, the system detects the kind of collision of two storylines, where two film crews come into sort of each other's area. Down here you can see some survivors, but also one of the other film crews, one of the other 6, following those people. And the system offers us the opportunity by presenting a cut view from one storyline to the other storyline and back again with the icons on the screen to give us the opportunity of actually leaving the helicopter storyline in this case and following these people on the land. In this case, I'm not going to choose to jump ship, as it were, and move on to the other storyline. I'm going to stick with the helicopter. So as the helicopter flies away, the opportunity is no longer available to automatically jump to that storyline. And let's run that sequence again, and the next time I'll jump over to the other storyline, and you'll see what happens. So using the film strip, go back, repeat this sequence of coming into this area.
I'm getting waved into the casualty area on the right. I've got a bit of a wind up my arse at the moment. Excuse the language. However, she's alright. Plenty of power. They actually want me to go in there. I thought they perhaps wouldn't want me to go in there because of the danger of
again,
people,
down there amongst those people are another crew.
Okay, so
Just
I'm just going to
making
go in
out.
and put these 2 guys down in here.
The system gives us the opportunity soon, again, cross-cutting between the 2 storylines here. Well, I've chosen to join the other storyline. The system detects the same collision, as it were, and now offers us the opportunity of jumping back to the helicopter and cross-cutting between the 2. And then as the helicopter leaves, of course we no longer have the ability to jump back to that storyline. And we're now following this storyline shot by this crew. Now that enables a viewer to follow a patient or a person who's been injured from one area to another. In fact, we'll go back to the map and look at where the triage centre is, and you'll see that there are a number of film crews actually arriving in the same place, all of which, of course, who are producing an individual storyline. Here we are. There's one protagonist. There's another one. And the third one in a moment. There we go. And basically that's what it felt like. So there we are. That's a brief rundown of ScienceZone Interactive, made in 1998.